Breaking now at midday, wildfires are raging across the state as we come on the air. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Andrew Ward. Come take a look here at this video of the Pressy fire from overnight over in Custer County near the town of Broken Bow. Heavy smoke and flames can be seen for miles. This video capturing just a fraction of what crews are dealing with right now. The most updated information is telling us that this fire has burned across 1,000 acres and is 0% contained. This video is from the Amherst Volunteer Fire Department, one of several rural fire departments helping out with this blaze right now. As you can see, it's been a busy time for volunteer fire departments around the state. The Pressy fire, just one of several burning right now. This is map from Watch Duty. You can see there are plenty of fires they're dealing with. Most of them, luckily, are vegetation. But up here in northern Cherry County, that's the Andrews fire. It's the largest in the state right now, burning around 2,500 acres. Now, a lot of these fires have started due to lightning strikes in those spots. You can see the scorched earth here from the Pressy fire originally started. NSP reminding us that this is just one of several fires that firefighters are dealing with. They are spread out across the state. We will keep you posted on if any progress is made on these blazes today on air and on our Now Local News app. Now, that severe weather alert today on top of the red flag warnings across central and western parts of the state. Here's a live look outside of a cloudy Allen Communications camera, but we have temperatures in the 70s and it's already very muggy outside. Let's get to meteorologist Houston All with what we can expect this afternoon. Good morning, Houston.
Good morning. I mean, my goodness, I'm from Texas and this moisture, I can feel it out there. How about that? It is a humid and warm morning. We are starting to see a little bit of a line of some showers, maybe an isolated thunderstorm trying to get going here. Upper 60s, lower 70s. Check out our Utica cam. You can see some towering cumulus clouds. Now, why is that? That's going to be along a line from about Norfolk down towards the south, just near Hastings. That's where our little front is, just ahead of our cold front. If we take a state view, there's a circled area that I'm watching here in the next few hours for a little bit of storm development. Still, the peak severe weather threat looks to be around 2-3 p.m. Instability, oh, we hear about that all the time. Look at that, it's starting to increase relatively nicely. As we go into the next hour or two, we will start to see some isolated showers and thunderstorms ahead of that little line. And then as we go into about 2-3 p.m., that's when the severe weather will pick on up. We're going to see a few isolated thunderstorms with large hail, mainly from just east of Beatrice, south of Lincoln. Still, we'll have to see what the position on this is. And then that all turns into a damaging wind threat as it moves through this evening. 70s across southeast Nebraska, off towards the west, cooler air. Check out this moisture difference. We got 30s for dew points and then 60s. Now that's where those storms will form here in the next few hours, and it is very windy out there still. We do have another risk for severe weather going into the weekend. Show you this whole forecast in a few.
Thank you very much, Houston. Happening tonight, a chance to learn about a more than $100 million construction project. You're taking a look here at the intersection of 33rd and Cornhusker. This is the area city officials are hoping to clear up any confusion about. The massive project is hoping to build a way over the train tracks at this intersection, which has caused hours of delays on a daily basis. The price tag is hefty, around $125 million. The City and Railroad Transportation Safety District are hoping to build a viaduct in that area. These are 3D images of what they eventually want it to look like. This is looking at a couple different directions. What you can see, the big changes would be multiple roundabouts and a bridge over top of those train tracks. So many people getting stuck behind those tracks, just like citizen journalist Casey here. The city says this intersection causes 3.5 hours of delays on the day. Tonight's open house runs from 5:30 to 7:30 at North Star High School. We'll keep track and let you know what happens on our Now Local News app. Right now, dozens of Nebraska high schoolers are getting ready to defend our country. These students enlisting at a time of growing global tension, including the war in Iran. Still, the U.S. military says recruitment numbers are holding steady for now. The decision to enlist is a serious choice, but for 90 high schoolers from 40 Nebraska cities, they are ready to serve. Channel 8's Danielle Da Silva reports.
Hundreds stood in silence as the majestic sound of a bagpipe welcomed the 90 new recruits to a celebration in their honor, all high school seniors. The ceremony was first created by the nonprofit Our Community Salute, but taken over by the Blue Star Moms of Nebraska. Lisa Compton is president of the group's Lincoln chapter and has 2 children that served.
I remember how it was and how anxious I was when my son enlisted and left just days after graduation. So I understand our group of Blue Star mothers understand the emotions of pride and angst that they may feel about their child leaving home forever.
Now in its fourth year, the celebration keeps growing. Recruits coming from 40 different cities across Nebraska.
It's so impressive. At this young age, they are making this commitment from high school to join the military, to do what others would not even consider.
She says less than 1% of Americans make this choice. But Paul and Rhonda Hall's son, Tanner, did. A senior at Lincoln East High. Their reaction to the news?
I think we were pretty proud. I think that he's serving his country like he wants to do.
As for any worries, they say they trust the system and
I think the ambassador program through East High School in Lincoln was a positive. It definitely gave him more opportunities.
Tanner explains his choice to join the Air Force, making his mind up over a year ago.
You can get a lot of discipline out of it.
But also,
the benefits was a big part of it. It kind of just sets you up for life.
Ivan Benharas shared those same goals for a secure future and is joining the Marine Corps. What he hopes to gain?
Like the challenge you get from the Marine Corps, the brotherhood, being able to manage things on my own.
Preparing for it with physical training. His recruiter, Sergeant Devin Drapal, says it's his attitude that helps him stay prepared.
He's definitely someone that could definitely push through.
Much like the reasons he got into the Corps himself.
For me personally, I just wanted something better for myself.
The rest of the ceremony provided these students with more music, prayers, and overall morale support. Danielle De Silva.
Breaking overnight now, a key step toward funding for ICE and Border Patrol in the U.S. Senate. After an overnight vote-a-rama, the Senate adopted a GOP budget blueprint in a narrow vote. All Democrats voted no, all but 2 Republicans voted yes. Senators Pete Ricketts and Deb Fischer of Nebraska were both yes votes. Next, the House passed a measure. The House must pass the same measure, but this is far from over. The package will need to survive several procedures in order to head to the president's desk. Senator Pete Ricketts releasing this statement on the vote overnight. He said, quote, Nebraska and the American people deserve better. Our brave women and men protecting the homeland deserve better, end quotes. We'll be watching for comments from Deb Fischer as well. Now to the war in Iran, tension growing around the Strait of Hormuz. The president today saying in a post on social media that he had ordered the U.S. Navy to shoot and kill any boat that is laying mines in the strait. We're also seeing video of the U.S. Navy seizing another ship in the Indian Ocean. ABC's Cristian Cordero reports.
Today, new video released by the Pentagon shows the latest operation against Iran at sea. U.S. troops are seen rappelling from Navy helicopters onto a tanker the Pentagon says was transporting oil from Iran. It happened in the Indian Ocean, the second time an Iranian-linked ship has been seized by U.S. forces this week. It's part of the Trump administration's effort to crack down on anyone helping support Iran as it tries to enforce a naval blockade in the Strait of Hormuz. The president posted on social media today that he has ordered the U.S. Navy to shoot and kill any boat that is putting mines in the strait, adding the U.S. military is working to clear mines from the critical waterway. Iran calls the capture of the vessels an act of piracy and insists it still has control of the strait. Iranian state media released this footage showing an Iranian speedboat pursuing a cargo ship before masked Revolutionary Guard members boarded it, rifles drawn, as it searches the cabin. The tug of war in the strait has effectively shut it down, impacting economies far beyond the region. Roughly 20% of the global oil supply passes through the strait, and efforts to make up the difference since the war began have fallen well short.
We are facing the biggest energy crisis in the history.
And as tension grows at sea, an administration official tells ABC News Secretary of the Navy John Phelan was asked to step down immediately. Phelan was a civilian political appointee responsible for training and equipping Navy sailors. No reason was given, but sources tell ABC News he and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth clashed several times in recent months. And today, a second round of talks between Israel and Lebanon is set to happen here in Washington. The ceasefire between the two countries expires at the end of the week. Cristian Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
Still ahead, visit Nebraska the special way. You can tour the entire state in a big event coming soon. Our live interview coming up after the break. And the executive director of Visit Nebraska, Jen Gertie, is here to talk about this thing right here, guy next to me. This is the Nebraska Passport. This, well, tell me about it a little bit, Jen.
Yeah, it's a hot item. The Passport, we're in its 17th year.
Amazing.
But this year, there's 70 stops all across the state. People go, they collect the stamps from now until from May 1st to September 30th, and then they can turn in their sheet for prizes.
Absolutely, and with airfare costs so high right now, this is a great opportunity. Just hop in the car, go on a good old-fashioned road trip here. So, explain kind of the rationale behind the item or the businesses that you picked.
Yeah, every year is different.
Yeah.
That's what's super unique about our Passport is we pick 70 new stops every year, and they're based on themes. So this year we have like a sip trip theme, and that's a lot of places, like I was saying, coffee or dirty sodas or wine or breweries, places like that. We also have a semi-quincentennial tour. We're calling it Party Like It's 1776. So it's paying tribute to America 250. It has the state capitol on it, the Nebraska History Museum, the Dr. Susan Center. So places all across the state that have helped Nebraska in the evolution of Nebraska since we were the country was founded in 250 years ago.
Amazing. These are some of the businesses that are here in Lincoln right now. When you hear all the stories of these, I mean, we've talked about this for years now, but just it's got to be really cool that this has become such a fun staple for the summer here in Nebraska.
Yeah, Passport fans are fans. I think it's Nebraskans. They love Nebraska and they love this program, and they're just really great cheerleaders of this program, and it's been so fun to watch evolve over the years.
So what are some of the incentives this year to kind of go out there and look at and get your passport stamped?
Yeah, so people, what's something that's really popular is if you get to all 70, you get a Champions t-shirt. And this year, other prizes are a koozie, or we always do lottery tickets. There's always a magnet. So we're switching it up from each year. The prizes are a little bit different. And each year our events tied to it are a little bit different. We're doing an event next week at Museum of American Speed. It's on Passport Kickoff Day, May 1st, from noon to 4, and there'll be lots of special activities going on for that.
How can people get involved with that?
Yeah, so people can find out more information about the program itself by going to nebraskapassport.com. From there, you should be able to find out what all the Passport stops are. You can always go to one of the Passport stops to pick up one of these booklets or request one online, and we'll get it mailed to you.
Alrighty, awesome. Well, always exciting. Jen, thank you so much for stopping by. Appreciate you giving us a sneak peek here. What's coming up next week? All right. Houston, what's coming up next?
Yeah, we just got a mesoscale discussion as storms are starting to develop, and they could become severe here in the next few hours, maybe around Lincoln. Show you that here in a few.
Next DT, our new
flames, leaving smoky air throughout much of this drought-stricken Peach State. Right now, the flames destroying dozens of homes and triggering evacuation orders from the governor. The entire state now in its first ever burn ban. ABC's Armando Garcia explains.
Today, a race to snuff out the flames as fires explode throughout the southeast. Wildfires raging across Georgia and Florida, consuming more than 50 homes and thousands of acres.
Oh, I'm gonna cry. Unfortunately, 54 homes were lost on Tuesday as the fire swept through.
ABC's Matt Rivers on the ground in southeastern Georgia.
The fire here in Brantley County exploded incredibly quickly. You can see there's still hot spots back there. This is what's left of a mobile home completely destroyed by this fire. Dozens of people forced to flee with nothing to come back to.
Georgia's governor declaring a state of emergency across 91 counties, warning 1,000 homes could be in the line of fire.
We do expect today to be a pretty high fire activity day. Humidity is going to drop down to probably 26-27% this afternoon. Winds are going to pull a complete 180 shift.
Thousands of people forced to evacuate and salvage what they can.
We started gathering stuff in one location, taking stuff off the wall. Pictures and things we can't replace.
But for some, the flames moved too rapidly.
And we tried to save your house. We couldn't do nothing. It was too late, man.
The fires jumping over the Georgia state line into Florida. Crews battling the massive railroad fire in Jacksonville, which authorities say has already ravaged 4,000 acres of land. The fire danger extending all the way to southern Florida near the Everglades, burning more than 6,500 acres.
All of the southeast is under at least moderate drought, nearly half of the region on extreme drought or higher. That is what is fueling these fires, and there's no sign of rain until this weekend. Armando Garcia, ABC News, New York.
Now, for your Storm Alert Team forecast with meteorologist Houston Hall.
Here's a look out towards Utica. This is pointing towards the north. Now we're starting to see a little bit of towering cumulus clouds, looking a little dark and ominous. We do have a thunderstorm warning that just popped up for Colfax County. This is going to be due to that quarter-size hail and a little bit of gusty winds, and this is going to be just east of Columbus, and this is an isolated thunderstorm. So as it continues off towards the east, it will go into an unstable environment and will possibly strengthen over time. It's taking a path towards Hooper, and it's moving about 25 to 30 miles per hour. Should be in Hooper here in the next 30 to 45 minutes. Main threat with that storm right there, it's going to be that quarter-size hail. Could get larger as we go into time, as this atmosphere right here is going to be very unstable just ahead of this cold front. That's why I got this circled area right here. And there most likely will be a watch issued here in the next hour or two as these storms start to form and get a little strengthening. You can see the instability is starting to increase. Look at this. We're starting to get some red. That's going to be that high instability. And there is no cap in place. So these storms can definitely lift off. That storm right there just formed about 30 minutes ago, and it's already a severe thunderstorm warning. So that just shows you any storm for today that does pop up could become severe pretty quick. As we go into the next few hours, those isolated showers and thunderstorms will continue along that line, maybe even ahead of that line, as that cold front slowly pushes off towards the east. Main threat, we're going to start to see it right here. This is just going to be near Lincoln. Now Lincoln, some models want to put us getting some rain, getting some decent thunderstorms. So I would say keep an eye if you live in eastern or northeastern, southeastern Lancaster County as we go to 2, 3 p.m. This is where the most severe weather is going to begin here. These isolated cells, that's going to be the large hail up to 10, golf ball size hail. I always say tennis ball, but golf ball size hail, maybe even larger in some storms further down towards the south. As we go 3, 4 p.m., picking the kids up from school. If you're Lincoln, down towards the south and east, that's where these main impacts will begin. We'll start to see some sunshine on the back end of this cold front. Large hail, damaging winds, isolated tornado threat down towards our south. This turns into a wind threat as we go into 5, 6 p.m. Mainly Omaha, south and east as that pushes into Iowa by 8 p.m. Main threats here about 2 to 5 p.m. Friday looks just sunny. A little bit on the breezy side, pretty comfortable. A little bit of rain, maybe some moderate rain up towards Cherry County by Friday night. And that looks to come with an increasing cloud cover for more severe weather chances. That's right, this is Saturday. Our southern counties currently at a marginal risk for severe weather. Sunday, all right, we do have a slight risk already into parts of southeast Nebraska. That means if you put a marginal somewhere around there, most likely will include Lincoln. So keep an eye on Sunday, especially for those rain and storm chances across Nebraska. You can see a little bit of sunshine out there peeking through the cloud cover. 75, dew point of 63. So the dew point, all right, it's getting there. 75, 77 out towards the west, still pretty warm. 60s for temperature, 74 down in Beatrice. Look at the dew points, though. In the low to mid 60s, out towards Aurora, lower 30s for dew points. That's that cold front. So you need the moist air right there. Relative humidity values, my goodness, 60 to 70 to 80, and then boom, dry as can be. Winds out of the south, then out of the northwest, 15 to 20, sustain. Red flag warning through this evening. Going into Saturday, some storms are possible, mainly out towards the west. And then Sunday, it looks like rain and showers and thunderstorms will be likely as we go into the afternoon and evening time. That lingers into Monday morning, and then all through next week, temperatures do not even reach 70 degrees with a little bit of cloud cover and sun.
Good. Thank you very much, Houston. Still ahead, budget cuts are coming to the Department of Health. What this could mean for research grants. That's coming up next.
Meet Lincoln's
Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. says these are budget cuts the department is proposing right now. $94 million for vaccine research, $33 million for Alzheimer's research, $29 million for cancer research. He says the government's enormous debt is the reason why. ABC's Andrew Fujii tells us more.
Health Secretary Robert Kennedy Jr. was grilled on Capitol Hill on everything from vaccines to funding cuts for the National Institutes of Health. One senator listed the grants that have been cut, including $94 million for vaccine research, $33 million for Alzheimer's research, and $29 million for cancer research.
I just have to say, cancer is not woke. Neither is Alzheimer's or women who die in childbirth. These are deadly issues. They deserve serious research. I am appalled that it was tossed in the shredder.
Kennedy said he doesn't want to cut those programs, but is being required to because of the government's enormous debt.
We've been asked to cut across the board at HHS 12% of our $111 billion budget. And so we're making cuts that are painful.
Besides the cuts, $500 million of funding for research may go unused because of a lack of staff to process grants and a lengthy new screening process. That's according to the New York Times, which says research spending has fallen about $1 billion behind years past. Kennedy, a vaccine skeptic, also addressed the country's worst measles outbreak in decades in this testy exchange.
Does the president know there is a historic measles surge occurring nationwide?
You want me to answer
the question? It's just a very simple question.
Just want a grandstand.
You're going to get your opportunity.
You want a grandstand.
Does the president know there is a historic measles surge occurring nationwide?
I'm sure he does.
You're sure he does?
Kennedy has in the past called the measles vaccine a personal choice, but he's shifted his tone, saying the government recommends every child get the shot.
Meanwhile, the CDC is refusing to publish a study on certain benefits of the COVID vaccines. Officials there taking issue with the study's methodology. Andrea Fuji, ABC News, New York.
Still had this midday a big announcement about a major new addition to LPD's car collection. The move is crucial now in how officials say it would usher us toward our climate goals.
Toughness, strength, passion, results. When your team takes the field, this is what you expect. And if you've been injured, this is what you will get when you work with Friedman Law Offices. We don't battle it out on the field, we battle it out in the courtroom. Friedman Law suits up against the insurance company and fights hard for the compensation you deserve, helping injured people. It's what we do, it's all we do. Call Friedman Law, 402-476-1093.
Win Bird Feeders, binoculars, and cash this May in the 4th Annual Nebraska Birding Bowl, a free, fun, month-long birding contest for youth to adult birders, all ages, all levels of experience. Register online at Nebraska Bird Bowl. Be a winner in May just by watching birds in Nebraska.
Hear that? That's your garage door asking for help.
When parts wear out, it only gets worse.
Upgrade now and save 10% on openers and doors.
With Access Garage Doors of Lincoln. Don't stress.
Call Access.
At Ernie's in Ceresco, get the savings on furniture we usually reserve for our employees' families. It's Ernie's Employee Family Pricing Event. Save on our huge in-stock selection of furniture, mattresses, flooring, and appliances at Ernie's in Ceresco and Ernie's Mattress First in Lincoln.
For 48 years, the Knudsen family has shared flavors at Da Vinci's. Rich sauces, handcrafted pasta, crave-worthy pizzas. Dine in or have Da Vinci's delivered. Taste the tradition, only at Da Vinci's.
Ernie's Mattress First, your local sleep specialists. From big moments to local victories, we're here for all the action. Sports stories that go beyond the scoreboard. Every team, every matchup, every night, we're on your sideline. Channel 8, bringing you Nebraska now.
Seamless steel siding is weatherproof, maintenance-free siding that looks great and protects your home for a lifetime. Go with the name more homeowners trust. ABC Seamless. Learn more at abcofnebraska.com.
Now, from Nebraska's trusted news source, this is Channel 8 News Midday.
Welcome back, everyone. Breaking now, marijuana is no longer being classified as a dangerous drug. Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche signed an order Thursday that would make it a Schedule III drug. That's a significant reclassification. It's the same as Tylenol with codeine and ketamine. Right now, it's a Schedule I drug like heroin or ecstasy. Schedule I drugs are considered to have no medical use. Now, rescheduling marijuana would open the door to more research on its medicinal properties. It would also likely ease the federal tax burden on dispensaries in states where the drug is legal. Of course, medical marijuana has been a huge point of tension in our state for years. These are some recent protests in here in Lincoln about government regulation on the drug. Nebraskans for Medical Marijuana releasing a statement saying they are pleased with this decision and say there are no more excuses now for our state officials. We are reaching out to both the governor's office, attorney general's office, and Nebraskans for Medical Marijuana. We're going to have that full report tonight at 5. And if you're just joining us, we are tracking the potential for severe weather today. Right now, it just kind of feels a little muggy out there. A little bit of sunshine in our ABC Seamless camera. A little bit of a breeze as well as it shakes a little bit there. We got temps in the 70s, but let's get to meteorologist Houston All here with the latest in our first forecast. Good morning, Houston.
Good morning. We have seen our first severe storm currently in Colfax County. It's going to be due to the winds. And that just shows you this storm has just developed about 15 minutes ago and it's already severe. And it's in a very unstable atmosphere. So from here on out, any storm that does pop up will have the potential to become severe relatively quickly. This is for Colfax until noon today. That's just going to be due to some quarter-size hail as it moves towards the northeast at about 25 to 30 miles per hour. It will reach Hooper here near noon to noon 05 is what I like to call it, short thing. There's that cold front currently just moved through the Tri-Cities. Ahead of that, we got a whole lot of moist air, and look at the instability. We're talking some high levels of instability, and there is no capping in place currently, as sunshine is starting to peek through a whole lot of the southeast Nebraska. Here in the next few hours, that isolated activity will continue, and then by 2 to 3, that's when the real severe weather potential will start due to that large hail. Lincoln, keep your head on a swivel as we could have a little bit of rain and thunderstorm activity, and it all moves out by this evening, and that looks to be the threat. All right, so temperatures in the 70s across southeast Nebraska, some cooler air. Check out the dew points, though. Yep, that's going to be your story for the storm development. I'll go more in depth in this forecast coming up. Maine weather.
Thank you very much, Houston. New developments this morning, a community on edge. You're looking at the scene of a Beatrice Middle School after being evacuated because of a potential bomb threat. First brought you this story as breaking news during our midday show yesterday. The school quickly removing students and staff from the building before law enforcement could give the okay. Channel 8's Emma Norwood explains what exactly happened.
A potential bomb threat at Beatrice Middle School rattling the community on Wednesday. The assistant principal finding a suspicious device on the north side of the building.
The assistant superintendent and myself dropped everything and walked over to take a look. And police were on scene and also determined that at that time it was in our best interest to evacuate the building.
Everyone moving to a safe location while law enforcement investigates. Nebraska State Patrol, along with the Beatrice Police and Fire Departments, going through the middle school and all buildings in the district.
The sweep of the building turned out to be safe, and students were returned to the building. Parents were notified that they could come pick up their students if they wanted to, and voluntarily, and so about half the students were released to families and about half stayed.
A long line going out the doors at the middle school as parents rushed to pick up their kids. I spoke to a few of them while they did not want to go on camera. One parent tells me it took them by surprise because this kind of thing doesn't usually happen in Beatrice. The superintendent echoing that statement, saying this is the first time they've dealt with this kind of situation.
From where we stand, we feel like everything went very well. Obviously, as a parent, we understand that can create some emotions, and we felt like all the parents that we talked to were appreciative of how things were handled.
Reporting in Lincoln, Emma Norwood, Channel 8 News.
Right now, the cost of raising a child just got higher. That's according to LendingTree, at least. They found that the latest national average of raising a child over 18 years is now over $303,000. This is almost 2% higher than it was at this point last year. LendingTree breaking down some of the bare bones costs in this report, starting off with rents, which has seen over nearly a 50% increase. Girls' clothes also seeing a 26% increase. Insurance premiums also higher, less than 1%. According to LendingTree. In better news, though, they're saying the average cost for infant daycare has gone down more than 3%. They also rank the 10 most expensive states to raise a child to the age of 18. The Cornhusker State making the list. They put us at number 9. They say the average cost is almost $295,000 here. We asked you on Now Local News app what you spend the most on for your kids. Here's what one citizen journalist had to say.
Well, if it isn't things like food that they just need. Another staple that generally costs myself and other parents lots of money would be clothing and shoes, because they're always growing and you've always got to be buying more.
Yes, clothing is a big one in my house. Either they outgrow it or they just ruin it very quickly. But also gas prices while driving them around to different activities. Let us know how you and what you spend the most on our Now Local News app today. New at midday, the Lincoln Police Department is jumping on the EV bandwagon. The mayor announcing this morning that LPD is adding 2 brand new electric vehicles to their fleet. It's part of the city's efforts to move Lincoln more toward clean energy. It's one major goal in the city's Action Climate Plan, which looks to help Lincoln profit of our natural resources, while also protecting the environment. Authorities say the EV cruisers also offer many perks, including lower fueling costs, better function in all weather conditions, less noise, and cheaper maintenance. One of the vehicles has been in service for 3 months, patrolling around 18 hours a day. Tonight at 5 and 6, you'll hear from authorities on these vehicles and how they'll help LPD serve the community. Now to some new details on the housing market here in Nebraska. A new Wallet Hub report says that we're spending less on housing. They ranked us 47th out of 50 states for the homeowners that spend the least to keep a roof over their heads. Wallet Hub says that costs in the Cornhusker State are about 19% of the median monthly household income. Here's a look at that map that Wallet Hub shared. The lighter blue areas are those states that spend less. That's most of the Midwest and spreads as east as Philadelphia. The darker blue, though, is really concentrated on the West Coast, where people are spending at least 30% of their income on housing. The most expensive state, Wallet Hub, giving that title to Hawaii. Now to a story only on 8, running with an important purpose. A Nebraska native just got back from Boston. She ran the marathon there the year of the bombing. She's been back 2 times since, but this last visit had extra meaning. RJ Coleman spoke with her about the emotional run.
This year was exceptional, like beyond our wildest dreams of how well it went.
39-year-old Nebraska native Casey Lichtig has ran in over 100 marathons in all her life. It's something her mother and her do together often. She was born and raised in Dannebrog near Grand Island, but now lives in Omaha. And on Monday, she ran in the 130th annual Boston Marathon, just her 4th time doing so. It's now the 2nd year in a row she has competed in the race, but she stopped for a while after 2013, the day of the Boston bombings, and says both she and her mother crossed the finish line just 7 minutes before the bombs went off.
We could feel it. We didn't know what was going on, and it was the most frightening experience we've ever been through. After that experience, when we went home, it was like, I don't think we could go back. And honestly, that's why we never went back.
That is until they struck up the courage to return, running in last year's race and overcoming the fear from that date. But on Monday, Casey laced up her shoes and had to be courageous yet again. But this year, for a different reason.
Less than a month ago, my mom and I lost our grandma, my mom's mom, and my grandma was like a mom to me.
Casey says she wasn't even sure if she was ready to compete so soon, still mourning the loss of her loved one. This year's race ended up being a personal best, not just for Casey, but her mother as well. Casey ran a 2:55.50.
I told myself when I started the race, I'm not running with my legs, I'm running with my heart and with grandma. And that's why my mom also ran a huge PR for the course. And I know, faith over fear.
While this year's race was the first one without her grandmother, what looked like to be a tough challenge to overcome, Casey now calls it a healing moment.
Being together, my mom and I just had all these feelings and just the gratitude and gratefulness being there. The crowds, the people, just uplift you. And so being there was really helpful and healing for us.
Reported in Lincoln, Jay Coleman, Channel 8 News.
Coming up next, new open doors for those hoping to land a job in healthcare. Learn about the event uniting big industry actors under one roof and how you can benefit from it. Severe weather coming with reduced rainfall and record-breaking droughts. The U.S. Drought Monitor says we are facing the worst spring drought on record. They say the dry spell is so extensive, almost 63% of the country is affected. They've been breaking records for more than 25 years. A lack of rain is fueling wildfires and water shortages all over the country. Experts worry a hot and dry summer could lead to even worse conditions.
Now, for your Storm Alert Team forecast with meteorologist Houston Hall.
Well, we are currently tracking a severe thunderstorm warning for Colfax County. These storms can get severe pretty quickly as they will move into an unstable atmosphere as they continue their track towards the northeast later this afternoon. This goes until about noon today as we are tracking. Look at this. I mean, just the storm has intensified rather quickly. Now, this environment is just going to get more unstable as we go into the next few hours. Keeping an eye on this storm right down here. Most likely might become severe warned here in the next few minutes. As you can see, it's growing pretty decently as it moves towards Brainerd. Most likely quarter-size hail. And that storm right there is just due to some quarter-size hail. It's currently moving towards the northeast, 25, 30 miles per hour. Keeping an eye right here along this little circled area. That's going to be where these storms will continue to fire just ahead of our cold front. You can tell where the cold front is. Clear skies out towards the west of these storms. Lincoln, keep your head on a swivel as we go into these next few hours, especially the further north you go. There's going to be some more vertical motion in the clouds. Check out the instability. Yep, there's that really unstable atmosphere. We're starting to get some of these reds in here. That's going to be that high instability. You might worry about the cap. Well, I mean, there's not much cap out there. That means these storms can just explode and they can become severe quickly, especially as we go into 2, 3 p.m. So through this morning, through the next few hours, we're going to be seeing those isolated storms continue as they track towards the east. As we go into about 2, 3 p.m., that's when our severe weather threat will peak. We're going to be seeing these isolated storms really start to blow up along that line. These are all going to be large hail threats. We're talking about half-dollar size hail up to ping pong ball size hail. We're going to be talking about Beatrice, east of Fairbury, up here maybe south of Lincoln, and then north of Lincoln up towards Omaha, especially the further north of Omaha. As we go into about 4, 5 p.m., picking up the kids from school, headed home from work. If you're from Lincoln, south or east, definitely keep your head on a swivel. By that time, I think west of Lincoln should be in the clear. All of this will be large hail, an isolated tornado threat down towards our south, even some strong storms north of Omaha at this point. Later into this evening, that turns into a whole wind threat. As you can see, a little bit of curvature, large hail, and then an isolated tornado threat, mainly southeast Nebraska. Should all be out of Nebraska by about 8 p.m. So main time frame starts now, goes through about 6 p.m. this evening. So make sure you have ways to be alerted as we go through this afternoon. Friday morning, clear skies, a little bit on the chilly side. And then Friday afternoon and evening, all right, maybe a little bit more rain where they need it, that's for sure. Increasing cloud cover Saturday brings a little bit of rain and some thunderstorm chances. Saturday, a marginal risk for our southern counties as of now. Let's go into Sunday. That looks like the best potential for some rain and thunderstorms, which could be on the severe side. Notice level 3 enhanced risk, level 2 slight risk, includes southeast Nebraska mainly, and that will most likely have a marginal risk within Lincoln as we go into Sunday. So Sunday looks like the best day for widespread showers and thunderstorms, some on the severe side. ABC Seamless Cam right now, there has been some peaks of sunshine. Hint, Honda of Lincoln Cam, there it is, some blue skies. 75, a dew point of 63. It's a very nice and moist atmosphere. Look at that, we're still warm across much of the state, 60s and 70s. No 80s up there just yet. Dew points, moist, not moist. Aurora, that's a about 25-degree dew point difference. Relative humidity, you've got a whole lot of dry air in the atmosphere. Further west, very moist atmosphere off towards the east. So storms are going to start forming here in the next hour or two and continue their strength. Red flag warning for much of the state except where those storms are happening through these next few hours. So Sunday, some rain showers and thunderstorms likely. And then next week just stays cool in the 60s with a little bit of rain.
All right, sounds good. Thank you very much, Houston. Happening today, a career fair focused on long-term care. The Nebraska Healthcare Learning Center is bringing together representatives from nursing homes and assisted living communities. Today's events will give attendees the chance to meet directly with a variety of employees and explore career pathways. The career fair will take place at the Nebraska Healthcare Association at 2 o'clock. Still ahead this morning, popular content creator Mr. Beast facing big legal troubles. Coming up, find out what he's accused of and how he's responding. Social media superstar Mr. Beast is being sued by a former employee of his company. The woman is accusing him of firing her after she returned from work from maternity leave. Here's ABC's Hannah Battah.
He's the biggest YouTuber on the planet.
I recreated every single set from Squid Game in real life.
Jimmy Donaldson, better known as Mr. Beast, has built a multi-billion-dollar empire with more than 470 million subscribers drawn to videos like these.
In this video, we are building 10 schools all around the world.
But this morning, a former employee is suing his production company.
I was yelled at, cursed at.
Lorraine Mavromatis claims she was subject to sexual harassment and gender bias.
I was obligated to attend one-on-one meetings at the CEO's house by myself in an upstairs room only lit by a side lamp.
Her lawsuit claims male employees would tell women to shut up in meetings and mock female participants in Mr. Beast videos. She says after returning from maternity leave, she was fired.
And the reason was, and I quote, "You are too high of a caliber for this position."
The company denies the accusations, saying the lawsuit is built on deliberate misrepresentations and categorically false statements. It cites messages on a company Slack channel about a meeting in which Mavromatis allegedly wrote, "I need to cancel and postpone. I'm actually in labor at the hospital as we speak." A coworker replying, "You shouldn't even be checking Slack now," sending a big hug and lots of success. Mr. Beast spoke at the Time 100 Summit.
There's a lot of attention right now on your company culture.
Yeah.
Are there things you'd like to change?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's always something that people talk about. Because I started this business when I was 11, so obviously I didn't even know what that word meant back then.
Hannah Battah, ABC News, New York.
Coming up, professional dreams, which Huskers should hear their name called in the NFL draft this weekend, starting tonight.
Looking to
For several former Husker football players with dreams of playing professionally, the NFL draft begins tonight in Pittsburgh. You can see prep well underway here this morning. Several top prospects are there right now, waiting to hear their name called tonight, but likely no Huskers will be drafted until at least tomorrow. Star running back Emmett Johnson is the Huskers' best chance to be selected. He's projected to be taken in the 3rd or 4th round, so that could be as soon as tomorrow night, but he may have to wait until Saturday. Other than that, Johnson, several former Huskers are going to hope to hear their names called in the later rounds, but could also sign free agent deals after the draft. The 3-day extravaganza kicks off tonight in Pittsburgh, and it will heat up for sure. One thing you can count on is the unexpected, as this year's draft class could go a number of ways. Here's ABC's Randa Nally.
It's time to get the show started.
In just hours,
We're the first pick.
some of the best collegiate football players will become what they've long dreamed of, a player in the NFL.
It means everything to me, you know? I've been working to get to this point ever since I was about 6 years old.
Notre Dame's Jeremiah Love is one of the players ready to hear his name called. The star running back is predicted to go in the top 10.
I have come to the realization that I'm getting drafted tomorrow. It's all been for this one moment, and it's finally here.
The prediction for number 1 pick?
Take off and run, Mendoza!
Fernando Mendoza of the Indiana Hoosiers.
You know, usually when you look at an NFL draft, it starts with the quarterbacks. And, you know, tomorrow we all know that Fernando Mendoza is going number 1 to the Las Vegas Raiders.
If Mendoza ends up with the Raiders, he'll be under the guidance of not only his coaches, but one legendary minority owner, Tom Brady.
It would mean the world and have the opportunity to be great. If I get selected by the Raiders, he would be a boss. So it wouldn't be like how 6-year-old Fernando envisioned it, you know, to be best friends, but.
Family front and center for Mendoza when he won the Heisman Trophy, thanking his mom, Elsa, who lives with MS.
Mommy, this is your trophy as much as it is mine. You've always been my biggest fan. You're my light. You're my why. You're my biggest supporter. Together, you and I are rewriting what people think is possible. I love you.
Mendoza will not be at tonight's ceremony, but rather at home, surrounded by his loved ones.
I wanted to stay and make the memory with everybody who poured into my football journey. Mentors, coaches, family, friends. You want to share that moment with all of them is going to be the best memory that I can make.
Other big names to look out for tonight, David Bailey from Texas Tech and Arvell Reese of the Ohio State Buckeyes, both in the running for pick 2 by the New York Jets. For struggling teams, it's a fresh start. For contenders, it can be a chance to reload. And for these young stars, it's the moment their NFL dreams become reality.
Lives are changing. Emotion is raw. Emotion is real. And it's happening right before your eyes.
Before we go to the break, here's the live look outside. Our very loud tower camera. Final check of the forecast is next.